one that already exists with what your profile picture looks like and what your screen name is. I'll go ahead and just ask that real quick too over a message. What's your profile picture look like and what's your screen name? Additionally, make sure you join the guest requests. Send it off to her. There we go. Oh, she just told me profile pic is quote unquote hey like a pink blast. It won't let you request. Okay. It probably won't let you request because the queue is full. Can I have everyone leave the queue real quick? If you're in the queue, you should leave it. Just head out. Just leave the queue real quick. Make some room. Make some room. Make some room for the MAGA grandma. Oh, right. Oh, no, it says no live access. Okay, Catherine. Make the account public, and then you'll be able to hop in the queue. All right, all the Trump supporters in the queue. Let's go and get that next guest, Jonathan, up here. All right, Jonathan's not loading in. All right, guys. All right, let's go to move on to the next Trump supporter. If Catherine gets it figured out, we will happily have her and her grandma up here. I'd love to debate her grandma. All right. Hey, Rachel, thank you for the $5 on PayPal saying I always enjoy watching the lives. Keep it up. Thank you, Rachel. That's very kind of you. All right, moving back to Mr. Mango.
Are you talking?
Hey, what's up, Mr. Mango? Do you support Trump?
I used to, and I want to explain why, because I must say, I'm sorry, like we agree that Trump is a fucker, but the liberals absolutely failed the last election, and with Joe Biden as the face of the liberals, even now I'm not even sure if I would have voted for Biden. I didn't vote at all, to be fair.
Okay. Well,
like,
I'm happy that you don't support Trump anymore and you just have some more movement to do. I'm going to be honest, man, Mr. Mango, we have 30 minutes left on the stream and I'd like to try to use that time to debate some Trump supporters. But hopefully I, as a liberal, can convince you that that the liberals aren't terrible. But, you know, we're probably going to just stick to the prompt for now. Hop in that queue if you support Trump and we'll pull you up here. Let's go to get that next guest, CJ, loaded in. And by golly, holy shit, real quick. Esmeralda, thank you so much for the 50 big ones over on Venmo. With a $50 donation, Esmeralda says, hey, Dean, hope you are doing well. I've been following you for quite some time, and I just wanted to say that you are the man. Esmeralda, you're the GOAT. Thank you so much for the $50. That is seriously incredibly kind of you and incredibly generous as well. Thank you so much for the love, Esmeralda. Huge shout out to you. Please show some love to Esmeralda down below in that chat for the $50. Let's get 500 Esmeralda W's as well as 250 Napoleon W's with a $25 donation over on Venmo. Thank you so much, Napoleon. Napoleon says, enjoying your live debates. Thank you so much. Shout out to you. As well as Maya with a $10 saying, I love listening to your lives. That's awesome, Myra. Sorry, not Myra. Maya, I'm happy. I'm happy that you enjoy the lives. That's so cool. As well as Rachel with the $5 over on PayPal. Thank you guys so much. Okay. Let's go to get that next Trump supporter loaded in. You guys, where are they at? I'm just looking at the queue. Everyone in here just looks like a troll, man. We'll get Amy Nicholas up. And while we're getting Amy Nicholas up, holy shit, yo, I'm just going to call you C because I don't want to butcher your name. Actually, now I see how it's pronounced. Callie Cutie. Thank you so much for the $100 super chat over on YouTube. Holy fuck. Callie Cutie with a $100 super chat says, thank you for restoring my faith in humanity. Keep it up, Dean, from Sonia. Okay, their screen name is Callie Cutie, but their name is Sonia. Sonia, thank you so much for the $100. That is super fucking kind of you. That is literally so generous. Thank you so much, Sonia. Show some love to Sonia in that chat. Thank you so much. Amy, what's up? Do you support Trump? Hello? Oh, Amy's lagging. Amy? Amy's not here. Goodbye, Amy. You take care now. Too laggy. Go! What the hell's going on with Amy's internet connection? All right, we got Ocean MCL loading up in, guys. I understand that, you know, we've had a little bit of a rough patch here not being able to get a debate going. I'm trying my absolute hardest to try to get the next one going right now, and I apologize that it's been a minute. This is definitely a little bit difficult. I'm going to be honest. This is difficult, but we're looking for them. Keep in mind, guys, the reason why it's so difficult to find a debate is because the amount of Trump supporters is reducing, which is good. So the annoyance I feel, and a lot of you likely feel because we can't find somebody to debate, is, has a silver lining to it.
What's up, bro?
What's up, man? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I'm a hard right Maga motherfucker, as you could call it that.
Cane sugar?
Huh?
Cane sugar?
Yeah, I love cane sugar.
Cane sugar? Get what? Get pushed? Come on, you gotta finish the bit.
What's the bit? I'm just a hard right Maga motherfucker. I don't know what you're talking about.
Nah.
You're
get outta
tripping,
here.
bro.
No, you're trolling. You're trolling. We're gonna go ahead and move on to our next guest, Cockatron. Suzanne, thank you so much for. Wait, Cockatron? What the fucking kind of name is that, bro?
Dean, I'm not a MAGA supporter,
Oh.
but I just wanted to say that I know my voice is high, but I just wanted to say that you've helped me so much with my mental health and also be a better debater with my father because he's MAGA.
Hey, man, I appreciate you for coming up. I appreciate you for saying something. And I'm happy that the streams can help you with your mental health. That's awesome. We're going to move on to the next guest. Let's get that next guest loaded up in here right now. We got Tracy connecting. Suzanne, thank you so much for the $25 over on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love. Thank you so much, Suzanne. Suzanne with the $25 says, "Hey, Dean, as a longtime AP environmental teacher, I could not be more proud of how you've developed your critical thinking and research skills. The way that you use your platform is truly inspiring, and as a teacher in this era, it renews my faith in humanity." Thank you, Suzanne. Honestly, the fact that a teacher is telling me that is meaningful.
How do I do it? What do I do?
I didn't hear that much in high school, I'll tell you. What's up, Tracy? Do you support Trump?
How do I do it?
You say you're unmuted. Just say it.
Oh, hi. Yes, I do.
Okay. How old are you?
47.
Okay, I'm sorry. I assumed that you were over the age of 18, but always got to ask. Can't be too careful. Okay, yeah. Well, you got my attention. Go ahead and take it away and tell us why.
Well, my daughter wanted me to get on here, so I am a Trump supporter, and have been. I've voted for him, but I don't agree with him 100%. But I also didn't like the other option. So, but with abortion, I know you've been talking to people about abortion. For me, I don't believe that it's not illegal necessarily. You put it in the hands of the state, which is okay with me. But I'm from Texas, and I don't like the Texas laws. So that's a state thing now. So.
Yeah, I think that it should be federally protected. And my reason is as follows. I think it is a human rights violation to infringe on somebody's bodily autonomy unless you have good reason to do so. So without good reason. And I think that human rights should be protected by the federal government. And because I don't think there's any good reason for an abortion ban, since I'm pro-choice, banning abortion would amount to infringing on a woman's bodily autonomy without good reason, making it strike as a human rights violation, meaning I think that should be protected against by the federal government.
And I hear what you're saying, and I can appreciate what you believe. On my side, it's more like I am a woman, and I believe that after a certain time frame, that is not acceptable. And so I'm okay with it going through the first trimester, and after that, I don't believe you should be able to abort a child after that, because after the first trimester, you still have, that gives you plenty of time to know you're pregnant, have it taken care of, and be done with it. And after that, then at some point the child is able to be viable on its own, and I think that is totally, completely unacceptable.
So you think that abortion should be banned at the point of viability?
After the first trimester, I don't believe you should be able to do it unless it's obviously medical.
Well, first trimester, that's 12 weeks. Viability is
That's what I
like
said, 12 weeks,
23
yeah.
weeks. So why is it wrong to get an abortion at 13 weeks?
So for me, it's at one point I've been pregnant, I had kids, so there's no reason you don't know you're pregnant and cannot get that taken care of at 12 weeks and under, and because it keeps growing and continuing to grow and getting organs and all of the things and looking like a human being and all the things. And so I believe that you should be able to have an abortion, but after a certain point, I don't believe. Now that at my point, I believe you're killing a human at that point once it starts looking like a human. You know what I'm saying? It's not an alien.
Yeah, Real quick, I must say, I like how fast you're talking. You're like talking at the rate that my brain processes stuff. So I
Oh,
like it. I like it. I do. But anyways, so in response to that, I don't think just simply saying that, well, the woman has had enough time to go and get that abortion. Therefore, like if she were to get an abortion after 12 weeks, she's doing something irresponsible because she had all the time in the world is a good pro-life argument at all. In fact, I think that it's not a pro-life argument because in all reality, you're not telling us that abortion is wrong at that point because of anything to do with the innate intrinsic value rooted in the fetus, but rather it's wrong because of your criticism of the responsibility or lack thereof of the woman. Paradigm away from being pro-life to being pro-control of women that you think are doing things that are reckless, irresponsible, so on and so forth. And I think that's a big issue.
correction. I'm not. I don't want anyone to control. I'm a woman. I don't want to be controlled. I want to be able to do what I want to do. However, I do believe there is a point where time where that is not no, that's no longer moral to me.
So yeah, like what about an abortion at 13 weeks is immoral?
So it doesn't have to be 12 weeks, but I'm just saying the first trimester is a good cutoff point just because it hasn't become viable on its own at that point, right?
Okay, so you're saying it's okay to get an abortion given the fetus is not viable, right?
For the most part, yes.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
viability
so-
doesn't occur until 21 through 23 weeks. Therefore, you think that all
It could
abortions
be before
are
that, actually.
perfectly
My girlfriend had a 16-week-old baby that did survive. It
I
wasn't
don't believe
all
you.
completely there, but,
That's
but yeah,
actually
so it's fine.
so the earliest born viable baby ever in America was 21 weeks. Not like you're telling us that they had a baby born at 16 weeks. That's wrong.
Well, that's what she told me anyway. I don't, so whatever. But it's so 20 weeks. But I had an abortion at 20 weeks, and it was so hard on me. It was an accident. I didn't know I was pregnant, and then I knew I was pregnant, but I was so young I didn't know what to do. So now there's so many things that can help. You can reach out to anybody that can help you because you don't have to have your parents' consent anymore. You used to have to have that.
So you're arguing that an abortion at 20 weeks is wrong because it was hard on you?
And it's very hard on the body.
Okay, it's hard on the
You
body.
could die.
Okay, I actually don't know if that's true. But if you want to ban things that are hard on the body, well, then, I mean, I would argue that reasonably, birth is a little bit harder on the body than an elective abortion at 20 weeks.
Birth is natural,
Does this
and
mean
it's
that you
not.
think you should ban birth too?
No, birth is natural, but
Okay.
sucking a child out of your uterus is not natural.
Okay, is natural or unnatural that therefore it's good or bad? Like, for instance, let's agree on what the definition of natural is. Can we agree that the definition of natural is just what is found in nature?
If we're talking about childbirth, yes, natural childbirth is natural childbirth.
Okay, so now
just
we're
happens.
talking about how we define natural. Can we agree that natural or what is natural is defined as what is found in nature?
I could go with that.
Okay, all
I
right.
can't think of any reason not to.
Incest is found in nature. And if we want to use your standard of determining what is natural or unnatural as what is right or wrong, does this mean that incest is morally right? Because it's found in nature, therefore natural.
That's a moral issue.
Okay, so therefore,
Some
just
places that
because
is
something
okay.
is
Some
natural
places that is
doesn't mean...
okay. In some places.
What do you mean by that?
Not here.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
They won't do anything about it. In some Middle Eastern countries.
I'd argue that I think incest is wrong everywhere.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Great. So therefore,
Don't mock me. Don't be
even
rude.
though incest is found in nature and natural is defined as found in nature, we could agree that it's wrong. All that this means is just because something is natural, it doesn't mean that it's morally okay or morally right. And just because something is unnatural doesn't mean that it's morally wrong or impermissible. Right now that we understand this, let's reflect back on the argument that you gave us about an abortion at 20 weeks, arguing that it's immoral as it's unnatural. Well, it seems like that argument is now falling apart.
Well, now here you go, because some women kill their well, not women. Some animals kill their child, their birth, their young, and that's not okay. That's murder here, right? After it's born, okay. But in some other things, like they do incest, okay, that's not. But even the dog eating its young because it's not healthy.
I don't understand why we're talking about dogs eating their children when we're
Well,
just
because
trying
you
to
just said
determine...
it's natural. That is natural. If a dog or a cat has an animal,
So you're just
has
giving,
a
like...
baby, and it says it's
Right,
it's
and
not
you're
okay,
just
I'm gonna eat it.
You're just giving more reasons to believe that just because something is natural, it doesn't make it morally acceptable, and just because something is unnatural, it doesn't make it morally wrong, right? But this is all reason that points against your argument when you attempted to tell us that an abortion at 20 weeks is wrong because it's unnatural.
You were telling me that natural, and then that's not my moral. That's not my moral compass. But that's what I'm saying. That the dog may eat its young. We don't do that. That's not okay. So that's another reason that it's not.
Okay,
It's not
perfect. So
necessarily
yes,
natural.
another reason why your argument that an
Another
abortion is
reason why
wrong
it's
because
not
it's
just
unnatural
naturality.
is a bad argument.
If you're going to kill your young after it's born, and you're going to kill your young when it could be viable in your gut, they're both wrong.
Okay, then once again, now you're just giving a reason to believe that abortion should be protected until the point of viability, which is exactly what a Roe v. Wade did in elective circumstances, meaning that you align with the left on the issue, as you think all women and girls should have federally protected access to elective lethal abortions until
A
like
year
20 to
ago, you
24
could
weeks.
abort a child at 36 weeks, and that is not acceptable.
A year ago, oh, and well, actually, any state in which it was legal to abort a child at 36 weeks, it's still legal today due to the fact that it was actually up to the states under Roe v. Wade at that point, and it's up to the states today.
Okay, so it's up to the states today.
Right.
So
there's no relevant distinction in
Wade.
elective lethal abortions after the point of viability under Roe v. Wade or under Donald Trump after he got Roe v. Wade overturned. And by the way, you said this was a year ago. Guess what? Roe v. Wade was overturned in 2021, meaning that it was under Donald Trump's abortion policy of at the state level that women were apparently getting elective lethal abortions at 36 weeks.
In Texas, you could have gotten an abortion at 36 weeks.
Okay, isn't Texas a Republican state with a Republican government?
It's a Republican state. Yes, before they overturned it, you were able to do that. And now obviously you cannot, but I'm okay with that. It's just to the point of viability.
Oh, no, so under Roe v. Wade, it gave states the ability to not allow elective abortions after the point of viability.
One more time, I'm so sorry I didn't hear you.
Under Roe v. Wade, it gave states the ability to ban abortion, or more specifically, elective abortion after viability.
Well, doctors were still doing it.
Okay, well then that has nothing to do with the law.
No, it doesn't.
It has nothing to do
No,
with
it doesn't.
government. Meaning it has
My
nothing
point
to do
was,
with our
I
debate.
don't
Since we're debating the law,
believe
we're
that
debating the
she should be able
government,
to do it
and we're
at
debating the
27 weeks.
efficacy of a Trump administration.
Okay, that's great. I will agree that there should be a cutoff.
Okay, and once again, you think that cutoff should be viability, right?
At some point, I mean, I said the first trimester because that gives you plenty of time to find out you're pregnant and be able to do something about it. You get a support with getting an abortion, and why would not do it earlier than after? It's less hard on the woman, and it's
listen.
get it over with.
Why
You
didn't
have to live
I?
with that when you're done.
Why didn't I renew my ID before it expired? Right? Oh, it would have been so much so much more mature and more preferable.
Well, if
for
you,
me. Will you allow
if
me to
getting
finish?
abortion is no better,
God.
no more important than your ID, then you got
allow
problems.
me to finish speaking, please?
Sure.
Thank
Why
you
not?
so much. Right?
You're welcome.
So you're attempting to argue that abortion should be banned after 12 weeks because you think that 12 weeks is more than enough time for any woman or girl to seek access for abortion. I've already detailed many issues with your stance. The first issue would be a contradiction given the fact that you don't think an abortion becomes immoral until the point of viability, which is at 20 through 24 weeks. So why would you ban non-immoral abortions between 12 and 20 through 24 weeks? It makes no sense. And then the second reason you attempted to give to justify banning access to abortions after 12 weeks is because you think that women have enough time to get them before 12 weeks, completely changing your position away from claiming to be pro-life and caring about the fetus into wanting to be pro-control of women and girls that are doing things that you deem as reckless or irresponsible in this sense, given that you think they had more than enough time to get them before 12 weeks, right? So my issues with your stance are as follows. Contradiction, right? Because you want to ban it at 12 weeks, but you think it becomes immoral at 20 through 24 weeks, and pro-control of women, not pro-life, because the reason you think it should be banned has nothing to do with valuing the fetus and all to do with wanting to control the women that are getting them after 12 weeks, as you think that they are reckless and
Incorrect.
irresponsible.
That's incorrect. I don't believe that. What I do believe is that 12 weeks gives you enough time. I'm okay with that. I don't.
Bro, I just
if it was
disputed that
20
argument.
weeks, I'd be
Because
fine with
it's
20
all-
weeks. But
because-
I would just said the first trimester. Let me speak. I let you speak.
Yeah,
let
you're
me
just
speak.
repeating
Don't roll your
yourself,
eyes at
and
me.
it's annoying.
Really? So you're repeating yourself too. Don't roll your fucking eyes, you little shit. Look, here's the problem. Is that
I'm rolling
abortion
them so
is
hard.
oh my god, oh drastic. The problem is that you have plenty of time to get it done, and then be done with it. Women have to live with that decision after they make it, and it has been used as birth control in the past.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
Having quote unquote plenty of time to do something is going to be an over simplified notion of women, girls, and pregnancy, right? Point number one, just because under typical circumstances you can know that you're pregnant at 8 to 9 weeks doesn't mean that you will know that you're pregnant at 8 to 9 weeks. This
Usually it's
also
6.
ignores the complexities of life in general. Many individuals may learn that they're pregnant at 8 to 9 weeks, but they won't be able to see a provider to get an abortion until 13 weeks, for instance. Not to mention that even if, right, there was a woman who wanted to get an abortion that learned she was pregnant at 8 to 9 weeks, but then waited until 13 weeks, I would say she's more than justified in that decision, as it would ultimately fall down to a self-practiced decision concerning her bodily autonomy and the eviction of a life form, that being the life form of the fetus that we have agreed that we don't value until 20 through 24 weeks. So I don't think that you realistically should be able to tell a woman or a girl what is responsible or right for them when they want to access an abortion, given that the life of the fetus isn't relevantly more or less valuable before or after 12 weeks, as we've already agreed.
Like I said, I would be okay with 20 weeks, but I think that becomes so much harder on the woman. I think it's more like 15 or 16 weeks where it's not such just a hard procedure on the woman.
Boom. Okay, then let me tell you what the solution is. Go vote for legislation to extend the window in which women and girls can access abortion, and then
I've
use
actually been
your
very
voice
active
to
in Texas on doing that in Texas.
and then use your voice to turn around and say, like, this is what happens when you do get an abortion. Like, at the end of the day, right, I would say the main concern is ensuring that the legal parameters for access to abortion are fair. And if you have any thoughts after that saying, well, it's hard on the body of a woman at 20 weeks, arguably birth is harder, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be the lesser of two evils, and it is still ultimately their decision, right? It's hard on the body to get a tattoo on the bottom of your foot. It's one of the most painful areas of the body. Does this mean that you shouldn't be able to get a tattoo on the bottom of your foot? Absolutely not, right? It could be hard on your body to get like elective plastic surgery and implant like fucking like jaw extensions into your face, or those like creepy alien people that will like split their tongue and tattoo their eyeballs, right? That sounds pretty hard on the body, but do I think it should be banned? No, because it's ultimately their decision. So instead of advocating for a ban, right?
I didn't advocate for a ban. I told you I didn't want a ban.
Instead, advocate for like more broader social awareness about abortion, what it is. And even if you think that women shouldn't be getting abortions, maintain the position that it should be legal, and then turn around and attempt to eradicate the incentive for abortions in the first place, such as financial instability, by advocating for social programs to make young families more financially stable.
So what I told you, I have been very active in Texas trying to change it because 6 weeks is not enough time. That's completely bullshit. So that's what I have done. I have gone and written letters and done emails and signed things to get that changed. So I am very active in that because I do believe that that's not enough time and it needs to be raised. But I'm not mad at Trump for taking that.
Okay, but anyways, the conclusion is that you think that the legal line for elective lethal abortion should be 20 through 24 weeks as an alignment with viability. That's Roe v. Wade. That's the Democrat platform's position. You agree with the Democrats. You disagree with Trump.
I believe that's a little bit too high. I really do. I think
what? You just told us that it shouldn't be banned until 20 weeks. You told us that's how
I said 20 weeks would be okay, but I think that's too far.
So that's a contradiction.
I'm trying to compromise.
It'd be okay to get one at 20 weeks, but it's actually not okay to get one at 20 weeks.
I don't like it. I don't like the idea of it.
Oh my God. You're confusing the hell out of me. In one breath, you're suggesting that it should be legal until 20 weeks, and now you're telling me it shouldn't. God, what is your position? You're all over the place. You're all over the place. You're literally all over the place.
You could hemorrhage at that point. 20 weeks is very easily hemorrhage. You can hemorrhage and you could die. It's hard. Like I said, it's hard on the body. It's hard on the body. 15 to 60 weeks, you don't have that so much.
Okay. So when do you think that abortion should be banned?
I like 12 weeks, just because I believe that I really do believe that is enough time. And I believe that should be taken into consideration as another life that we're talking about.
All right. Actually, so the rate of death from legal abortions at 16 through 20 weeks of gestation in the U.S. was 29.5 per 100,000 procedures. Do you know what the rate of deaths for car accidents is? Significantly more lethal than getting an abortion at 20 weeks.
We're not talking about car accidents.
Well,
we're talking about
I'll tell you how I'm going to bring it in, right? Because if you think that a woman getting an elective lethal abortion at 20 weeks should be banned because of the rate of mortality being 29.5 per 100,000 procedures, would you say it should also be illegal for women and men to drive cars because of the higher rate of death associated with driving cars?
You're really trying to reach far for that one.
No, it's just you're saying that individuals shouldn't be able to, with informed consent, put themselves in a scenario that could yield like a particular like mortality rate. However, like many like things that are legal that we could agree on that should be legal have a higher mortality rate than an abortion at that point, such as driving a car. You're more
Anytime you put
likely
anybody in
to
front of a car,
die
in a car.
from a 4-hour car drive than you are likely to die from getting an elective lethal abortion at 20
Yes, but
weeks.
that's irrelevant to the argument.
Right? Or like another one, like smoking cigarettes, significantly more likely to die. Drinking alcohol and alcoholism, significantly more likely to die.
That has nothing to do with the argument.
It does. It does, because your
doesn't.
argument hinges on the likelihood of death following an abortion, justifying
No,
that
that
abortion
was
should
one
be
of the
banned.
reasons. That was why I where I gauged my line was
Right,
part of
exactly.
that.
You're saying because of the likelihood of death, it should be illegal, right? That's your argument.
That was part of it. That was not my decision. That was part of it because it's harder on the body. Women should know that. They don't need to just go in blindly and sign papers.
Okay, all right. So if you're now like agreeing that is a part of your argument, I'm telling you that is a bad part of your argument due to the other things that you think that should be legal that have a higher likelihood of death, like driving a car.
You're reaching far. That is not what we're talking about. We're talking about that. No, driving should not be. If you go get your damn driver's license, you can drive.
See, what I'm doing here is I'm making a logical connection to another.
It's not a logical connection, sir. It's not at all.
It is. I can explain to you how if you're willing to listen, but it will
willing
require
to
your
listen.
willingness to listen.
I said I'm willing to listen.
Thank you so much. I'm going to try to be patient with this. Okay? Right? So you're telling us that abortion should be illegal for the reason that the practice of abortion yields this particular potentiality of dying as a result. Okay? All that is relevant in your argument insofar as why this action should be criminal is because of how likely you are to die if you engage in this action. Right? Well, principle that underpins your argument is if something yields this particular likelihood of death, then it should be illegal, and connecting that principle to other actions and other events that yield a higher likelihood of death, right? Which would make the logical implication that therefore those other actions should also be illegal since they're even more likely to kill you. But what you're telling me is, even though the action of driving is more likely to kill you than the action of getting an elective lethal abortion at 20 weeks, you still think that driving should be legal, and that would be a contradiction to your originally suggested principle that if it yields this certain likelihood of death, then it should be illegal. Do you understand now?
I understand what you're trying to say, but it doesn't make a bit of sense to me. And the reason is because driving would change our entire everything. We can't drive. We can't not drive, okay? But you can not get pregnant. You can take those precautions, and you can take care of it early, and you cannot suck out a child.
I disagree.
I
I don't think that you have a human right to drive. I do think you have a human right to bodily autonomy. Making
No,
it
but you
more
do get a
important to
license for
recognize
that.
this right in the instance of abortion than it would be in driving.
Well, I believe that if you're taking the responsibility to have, responsible sex, and you get pregnant and you want to have an abortion, do it. That's fine. Do it early. Get it over with.
Well, now you're abstracting your argument back to back to your original claims compared to engaging in my counter arguments, right? Stop doing that. So many people do
Driving
this,
is
where
not-
I give
is gonna
you
be able to
a
change.
defeater, right?
And if people will not
your,
text in
your
time, they'll
mind,
live better.
your mind won't be able to change because you're unwilling to change it because you don't base reality. More so, you don't base your beliefs off of reality. You base
I base my
reality
beliefs
off
off
of
of
beliefs,
experience.
and you kind of ignore critical thought, reason, and logic.
I'm based on experience. That's what I'm based on.
Okay.
And you will never have that experience. So
So you're saying that, you know who else will never have your individual experience?
that's what I'm based on. My girlfriend won't because she died from having one. So yeah, she won't.
Everyone else alive will never be able to have access to your individual experience, women and girls included. So why would you try to use your personal individual experiences that nobody else could access to speak for everyone else with a uterus?
Because I've been active in the community and trying to help girls. They don't know the risk. They don't know what's involved with it. And after it gets to a certain point,
Does
they
it
don't-
help girls to subjugate them to policy in 10 of our states that are banning abortions even in circumstances of rape, to the extent where now 60 rape victims that got impregnated as a result of said rape are denied access to abortion in 10 of our states every day?
So here, I don't know what it says, but I do know that there is a rape victim here that they're able to have abortions. I don't know how they do it, but I know that they're able to have abortions.
Even if you were.
And that's if even rape. See, that's not good to me. That's not okay. That's absolutely
Right,
not okay.
that doesn't help
That's-
girls. That hurts girls. So you just told us you're trying to help girls. Obviously, you're not helping girls by supporting giving states the ability to legislate on access to abortion.
We have the ability to vote on that as well. We have the ability to vote
Right.
our
What I'm
governors
saying is
in.
that you shouldn't. Right? You shouldn't have the ability to vote on human rights.
But I don't see that as a human right.
Okay. Well, can we agree that there's no good reason to ban abortion?
I do believe there is a reason not to ban it, but completely. But no, there should
Well,
be
exactly, and that's why you don't see it as
regulations.
human rights violation, because you obtusely believe that there's good reason to ban it, even though there isn't.
Regulations, not ban.
Those regulations are a ban.
Regulations are not a ban. A ban would be a full ban.
Oh my God. No. You could have a partial ban. That's true.
What I'm saying is there should be regulations. There should be guidelines.
Right. And
They-
you have no reason to believe that we should have these. You just believe it baselessly.
And in my opinion, you have no reason to believe that anyone should just be able to do it at any time.
Well, actually, I do. My
But
my good reason to believe that women should be able to access abortion is because I do not think that the life of a fetus is morally valuable, as I believe that consciousness would constitute moral value, and a fetus does not have consciousness until its thymocortical connections occurred around 20 through 24 weeks, according to the most recent consensus from neurodoctrine studies. And because I do not believe that that fetus is a valuable life form, I therefore find no good reason to infringe on a woman's bodily autonomy and stopping her from accessing abortion. And because there's no good reason to infringe on a woman's bodily autonomy and preventing her from accessing abortion, it would amount to a human rights violation if you were to. There's my good reason. Boom.
Okay, so and that's okay for you to believe that. And for me, I do believe that a fetus is a viable life form.
Okay, right. Once again, you're saying that it's morally valuable when it's viable. Viability doesn't occur until 20 through 24 weeks, meaning
Okay,
that you don't
if you
think
have
it's morally
brainwaves,
valuable. Allow me to finish speaking.
Absolutely,
Meaning
sure.
that you don't
Go
think
ahead.
it's valuable until 20 through 24 weeks, meaning that you don't think that the fetus is a morally valuable life form until 20 through 24 weeks. Why would you want to restrict and ban a woman from evicting the fetus from her uterus when it is not morally valuable, even under your own view?
When it has brain waves and a heartbeat and all the things that don't roll your eyes. It's so rude. You want me to be respectful of you? I'll be respectful of you,
Rolling
but
my
be
eye-
respectful of me.
I think that I'm demonstrating phenomenal composure and kind patience to you, and me rolling my eyes is probably the nicest thing I could be doing right now. And I'm sure if you were talking to many other people, they wouldn't just be rolling their eyes, and they would probably be screaming at the top of their lungs, considering how insufferable a lot of our conversation has been.
Well, thank you for humoring me. So, in my opinion, brainwaves and a heartbeat do make it important. It do make it a life form that should be protected at some point.
Okay, so if brainwaves and a heartbeat and a life form mean said life form should be legally protected from death, does this mean that you think veganism should be legally compelled in America, given that cows, chickens, and pigs all have brainwaves and a heartbeat?
Oh, you should totally go to hell and go to prison forever for that. No.
All right, so now you see how it's absurd to posit the notion that if you have brainwaves and a heartbeat, that you're a morally valuable life form that should be protected.
We are a human species. We are not cows that
So
wander.
it's about the species. So it's about the
graze
species?
aimlessly.
Okay, if it's about the species, do you think that it should be illegal to pull the plug on a brain dead patient?
It is.
No, it's not.
You can make the decision to pull the plug.
Exactly, you can, meaning it's not illegal.
I just said that.
No, you said it is illegal. Maybe we're
No,
talking
I
past
didn't.
one another.
It is legal.
Oh, I said illegal. Do you think it should be illegal?
No.
No? Okay. Even though the brain dead patient is biologically alive and a member of our species? That's a contradiction to your most recent view on why you think abortion is wrong. Not to mention, that you
Brainwaves,
said it should be
brainwaves.
banned at 12 weeks. Is it a human before 12 weeks?
Brainwaves. There's no brainwaves. There's no brain activity.
Okay.
brain dead patient.
Okay, well, there is in the fetus at 11 weeks, and you said that that is a fetus that isn't deserving of moral value nor the right to life, so seemingly you're contradicting yourself.
There should be a cutoff. I know there should be a cutoff, and I've said that. Okay, I do believe 12 weeks is enough time. I would be willing
Okay,
to
okay,
go further,
well, then your
but
legal
there
cutoff.
needs to be regulations.
But when you tell me that access to abortion should be legally cut off at 12 weeks, you're telling me that you don't think that access to abortion should be restricted from killing humans with heartbeats and brainwaves, given that the fetus is a human with a heartbeat and brainwaves before 12 weeks.
And I also said earlier,
So therefore, your legal cutoff
point.
point has nothing to do with it being a human. Your legal cutoff point has nothing to do with it being, having a heartbeat, and has nothing to do with it having brainwaves. So what does it have to do? Okay, why is it morally okay to get an abortion at 11 weeks, but morally wrong to get an abortion at 13 weeks? That's what we're trying to figure out.
I just told you, I don't know exactly where the cutoff should be, but there has to be a cutoff, and I believe 20 plus weeks is too far.
Okay,
And
so then are you saying the cutoff should be 20 weeks? If 20 plus
I
weeks
believe
is
that's
too
too
far?
far.
But you just
I
said
believe
20
that's too
plus.
far.
So then should it be 19 weeks?
Look, I would
No,
come in here
shit,
because I
oh
don't
my
want to do.
God.
But here's the deal:
feel
what my thing is like, at some point, I believe there should be regulations, and you don't believe there should be regulations. So
I don't think that we should be regulating anybody's body with your incoherent gibberish. Like, you're confusing the hell out of me. You're confusing the hell out of everyone watching. So I don't think this confusing ass logic should be used to stop anyone's access to abortion at any point.
Okay, I agree to disagree. That's okay.
Dude, like you're just like literally like yielding your conclusions here with like nonsense gibberish. Like, is anybody that is watching this stream anywhere, right, have a good understanding of what her stance is? Anyone? No, it doesn't seem like anyone has a good understanding of what your stance is. So it convinced me that if, everyone watching has like no clue what your stance is, how do you have a clue? Like, do you even know what your stance is? Like, are you like?
I know what my stance is. I just know I don't have the medical backing to pick where it should be. I just know that 20 because of what.
Okay, I'm kicking you because I'm tired. Sorry. I'm like at 4 hours right now, and all that gibberish all at once really tired me out. Hey, Michael, I appreciate you for the $20 over on PayPal. Michael with the $20. Sorry, Mickey. Mickey with the $20 says, what is that? One moment. Let's see here. Mickey with the $20 says, what is that silver and black box to your right that you tap on sometimes? Oh, you're talking about this. You can't see it on TikTok. You could barely see it popping out of the side of the TikTok screen. Mickey, I'm going to assume that you're watching on YouTube. This is just my mix amp, and I tap on it sometimes to mute my mic. Thank you for the $20, Mickey. Show some love to Mickey down below in that chat. I would also like to thank Ashy. Thank you for the $10 over on PayPal. If you could please bring awareness to Jose, Allende. Let me go ahead and finish reading the rest. Who was taken by ICE and is being held in a cage in Alligator Alcatraz. For sure, I'm going to have to research that individual case. But once again, that is Jose, Allende. And after my stream, I'll put some of my own time into researching that specific case. Thank you so much for the love, Ashley. As well as Kelly, thank you so much for the $15 over on PayPal. Appreciate you for that love, Kelly. As well as Ashley, thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo, saying as a high-risk nurse, the claim that birth is safer than abortion is false. That was absolutely false. As well as Loida, thank you for the $10 on Venmo, saying thank you for educating us on critical thinking. Thank you for the love, Loida. And then Tyler, thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo. And Olivia with the $10 on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love, Olivia. And then Francisco, thank you so much for the $25 over on Venmo. Francisco didn't leave a message, only the love. Thank you so much, man. I thank you so much. Shout out to Francisco down below in that chat. As well as Benjamin, thank you for the $2 saying love you, bro. All the love to you as well, man. And Jessica, thank you so much for the $12 over on Venmo 30 minutes ago. All right, for everyone watching, I'm not going to lie. We are at the 4-hour mark on this stream. And that last guest kind of fried my shit, if I'm going to be honest. Like, I feel like I need to go make myself a drink. I'm going to keep it real. I'm a little tired after that one. So, unfortunately, we are going to go and hop off because I'm at that intersect of being very fried and tired and at the 4-hour point. So I'm officially rage quitting for the evening. I will see you all tomorrow with some debates. Before I head off, just thank you all so much for hanging out with us for the day. I gotta say, I have a very special love for the community that we've built here and everyone that tunes into these streams. I just think it is so cool that you guys care enough about politics to want to be in the know and critically thinking about what you believe in and why. It's awesome. It's awesome. But I'll see you tomorrow. Peace and love, everyone. Have a good rest of your Monday evening. Take care. Bye-bye.